Hey everybody, Malice here. We are putting together a video here. I haven't done one in a while, sorry about that. I have new capture software that I'm playing around with, which is right here. This, by the way, is my notes, so I don't yammer on and waste your time. Cam Studios by RenderSoft. It's free, good for recording stuff on your desktop, and compresses pretty good as well. So if you need something like that, give it a download. Can't beat the price. Anyway, my purpose here is to show off the editor. Here is the campaign editor. Editors, of course, are for speeding up development in your game. It's been an interesting exercise trying to get a Windows form to animate like an X and A game. Found some useful middleware to get that done, but now everything seems to be working pretty well, and I'm pretty proud of the results. So we start out with again the campaign editor here. Not terribly exciting, just a tree view that shows you all the pieces, and you can open up and drill down into them and then edit the individual pieces. The other editors are the cool ones, so we'll show those off. Here is the object or character editor. Edits everything that exists in 3D in the game. A useful little tool for getting a good look at what guys are going to look like in-game as they are rendered by the engine. This allows you to manipulate all the stats for the character, set their AI parameters, that sort of stuff. There are a few visual elements. You can adjust collision boxes and offsets using the mouse, and then these radio buttons to control which plane you're editing in. With sprites and a mouse, you're obviously going to have to pick between X, Y, and XZ, so that's what that does. Everywhere in the editor, every editor in the game, rather, has these tree views from which you can launch other editors. So under Aaron's particular concerns at this point that I need to work on is his doing his standing combo into a dash into a launch. Specifically, the dash doesn't seem to be linking into the launch very well, so we take a look at that. Here is the dash combo. You can see him executing it right there. The blue box rather is the AI box that's assigned to the ability. The red box that you see show up there for just a split second is the missile. It's not a very good view to edit the play around with the missile. So we open the missile here under the abilities components, and here's what it looks like as it is launched by Aaron. Notice it actually goes off before he draws his sword. That way, I'm trying to get that to work as expected, so that as soon as he starts moving, he starts hitting people. The missile itself, I've noticed, hasn't been popping people up high enough, so I've tried increasing the Z vector imparted while leaving the X vector being side to side alone. So hopefully that gets them up high enough that we can actually catch them with the launch move. And you can manipulate all sorts of different things here. So that's that. The dash editor, rather the ability editor for the dash. Here's the launch ability, which is just this little kick move here. Now again, we don't have to come in straight into the launch ability first. We can go straight to its missile, which is really what we're worried about here. Goes off right when he has his foot up on his kick. It's very wide in the XY plane, and we're actually going to make it just a smidgen taller and actually a little wider to see if we can't catch these guys and knock them up in the air so we can continue the beating. So that is the ability editor and the character editor. So we'll save that. I wanted to show off the sprite editor, which allows us to create sprites in a visual manner. Now the visual aspects of this editor are a little stronger. So for instance, we've got the goblin here, who's a new sprite from that Fran just sent me. He's very close to completion. Big shout out to Fran. Fran, hopefully you're watching this, and your English is better than my Spanish. So here's the goblin. Say we're looking at say his walk animation here. And he's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up there, and I want to make sure that that's because because of how Fran animated him and not because of his how long each of the frames are. So we uncheck the animate button. That freezes everything and enables this control and these controls down here. We can click on the individual frames of the animation, and it shows us where in the sprite sheet it's pulling them from. And then this number here tells us how long they are. And they're all showing up for 5 ticks, which is what we want to see. So walk looks good. Now pounded, which is animation for when they get hit on the ground. I want to make sure that's long enough. Notice it seemed a little short in game. So here's the goblin getting smushed, and kind of the take frame, and then here's the back to him just lying there on the ground. So if say we wanted to stretch that out a little bit, added a few frames here. So we click the add button, and we'll make this one say 10 frames, or 10 ticks rather, and this one 10 ticks, and then we'll go to the laying there on the ground animation, and we hit animate, and that's what it'll look like. Little tail bent action there after he gets hit. So we'll see how that looks in game. This gives us a tool to see what it'll look like before we do that. And one thing I wanted to adjust on the goblin before we got too much farther is his offsets are wrong now. This is just an animation, so it's not a character. It doesn't have a shadow, but I've noticed that his shadow looks a little offset. I added these crosshairs here to show off where exactly that offset is going to render in game. And so we're just going to move that a little bit to the right, I think. And we'll see how he looks. So we save his sprite now that we've made the changes. That's pretty much what we've got working right now. Mission Editor is forthcoming. We can copy missions and edit them in text and that sort of thing, but no visual editor just yet. That'll be coming soon. So looking forward to working on that, and thanks for watching. Bye.